Get him out of that house. That is disgusting.
Welcome back to Northern Perspective, everyone. I'm Cypher.
And I'm Fox. We were covering question period today, and something so shocking happened that we decided it deserved its own video. But not because of what happened in question period. It was what happened right after question period.
Let's take a look.
The honourable member from Chilliwack Hope is rising on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, during question period, the member from Elmwood Transcona issued a repulsive, vulgar, and unparliamentary remark to members of the Conservative opposition. I would like, through you, to ask him to withdraw those repulsive remarks.
The chair did not hear the comment, but recognizes that the honourable member from Elmwood Transcona is rising on his feet.
I didn't hear anything.
No, they didn't have the mics on him at the time, I guess.
I guess we'll find out.
Mr. Speaker, in the course of expressing concerns for the tongue of certain Conservative members that I feared would get stuck in the backside of their leader as he exited the chamber, I did indeed use unparliamentary language. And for that...
Wow.
Name him. Get him out of that house. That is disgusting.
Wow.
What is wrong with these guys? You know what? I know, okay, we watch question period and we see that it's kind of like laughing and fun and poking fun at the Liberals, but really, our House of Commons it's like hallowed ground. It's almost sacred like a church. These guys know better, and they should not be saying vulgar stuff like that.
Like, it's one thing to say hell, it's one thing to call somebody a liar, it's certainly something else to say that. Like,
I'm not even going to repeat it.
Like, you wouldn't say that in a church.
You wouldn't say that to your mother.
Transcona is an experienced member of this House. That language evokes an image which is clearly unparliamentary. I'll ask the honourable member to rise to his feet and to forthwith withdraw those comments.
I do unconditionally apologize for the comments, although I do insist on the importance...
The chair has heard the honourable member apologize, which is appropriate. Now that brings us back to the original point.
What's Scheer up to? Who's he speaking to?
He went over to the Liberals.
Is he speaking to the Liberal House Leader, McKinnon?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
They're up to something. I hope they kick him out, because you know what? He's not even being cheeky at this point. No,
he's
Blaikie,
just being defiant.
He's being downright disrespectful and disgusting.
Oh yeah, he's like, sure, I'll withdraw it, and it's like
on the condition, and then he starts smiling and going on. That is not appropriate.
Like we saw before, right? We saw before the Christmas break, the Conservative deputy speaker name one of their own party.
Yeah, it was Damien Carrick. They named him and kicked him out for not retracting his comments that called the Prime Minister a liar. Now, what Blaikie just said, in my opinion at least, is about 100 times worse. And he's standing there smiling like, I don't even know like what. Like somebody who should not be in the House of Commons right now.
Well, you know, he's on his way out anyway. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of being re-elected.
The original point that was raised, that the honourable member was in the middle of, I hope, withdrawing his comment. Would the honourable member rise on that issue alone?
I do, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw those comments.
I thank the honourable member for that. The Honourable Government House Leader is rising on a point of order.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I think we just witnessed a very disgraceful, disrespectful display in question period today, which is clearly against the standing orders. The members across the across the aisle here. Oh, an apology to the member from Skeena Bulkley Valley, who gets to ask a question just like everyone else in this House. That was a disgraceful display, and I ask that you, Mr. Speaker, take that away and consider what you might do in the event that it occurs again.
I will take that matter under advisement.
Okay, so Scheer, former speaker, went over, he's the House leader for Conservatives, he went over to the Liberals, and they actually listened.
Well, it's because, again, this is so disgraceful, so abhorrent. Again, how would you feel if somebody walked into your church and said something like that?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's disgusting. And it's disrespectful not only to everybody in that room, not just to the Conservatives or the Liberals or anyone else, to Canadians.
Yeah, because you know what? This just illustrates that people like that, Mr. Blaikie, they don't respect the fact that Canadians put him there. It is not a right for him to be there. It is a privilege for him to be there. And the fact that he is standing up like some, jumpstart teenager, it's unacceptable. So we thought that would be the end of that. It was a shockingly disgusting comment that Daniel Blaikie made. We thought that was going to be the end of that. It was kind of odd that he said that, but it was interesting because I said that, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting reelected anyway. Well,
we were right.
It turns out Daniel Blaikie agreed with us, and this was just him kind of burning down the house on his way out. Because, breaking news, everybody, Daniel Blaikie just resigned. This is crazy.
So we only really need the first paragraph. It says, on Wednesday, NDP MP for Elmwood-Transcona Daniel Blaikie announced that he will be stepping down effective March 31st, 2024, after almost a decade in federal politics. Blaikie will begin working as Manitoba Premier Wab Kinsew's senior advisor on intergovernmental affairs in April of 2024.
So I wonder if the Premier is going to be happy to have somebody working for them that made those types of remarks in the House of Commons within the federal government. It would be absolutely fantastic if the Premier saw that and said, yeah, we're going to rescind that job offer.
Yeah, because that was just vulgar. I would not want somebody who said something like that working for me if I was as high profile as the Manitoba Premier. Just saying.
So this is interesting, and we may actually start seeing more of this because you have MPs whose riding and seat is going to be at risk as a result of the boundary change, and Blaikie was one of them that was one of the most opposed to these riding changes because his riding is going to include a lot more rural areas, meaning his seat turns blue in the next election.
Yeah, that's right. He was actually in the Global News footage that we had used in the video we did about the riding boundary change. And he was one of the most vocal ones about how it's not fair and it's not right, etc.
Right. So now you have Daniel Blaikie that is just saying, you know what, screw it. I'm done. I know I'm not going to get my seat again. So I'm done. But this is the strange thing. Why would you not wait until the election? Because he's getting paid almost $200,000 a year. I guarantee you he is not getting paid almost $200,000 a year to be a senior advisor on intergovernmental affairs.
Yeah, it seems like a step down if you ask me.
Oh, it's
not
time.
A lateral move at all.
No, it's big time step down. So it's very interesting that that's the position that he's going to take. Now, maybe he's just like, well, I'm going to start working for the provincial government and work on my provincial pension, I guess. I don't know. But this is crazy. And the fact that he knew that he was going to be stepping down and he did that, like, I'm sorry, folks, that shows you the character of that guy. And he has a wife and a family, by the way. So after those remarks, I'm sure that the constituents of Elmwood-Transcona are probably very glad that they don't have to deal with him. But at the same time, hey, Premier Kinews, you may want to take a look at this footage and understand who exactly you're bringing on into your government, and they're going to be a senior advisor, I would be staying far away from that. So now the NDP are down one, everybody.
But not only that, it begs the question, why now?
Right.
Why would you give up your seat as a federal NDP MP and take what we consider to be a step down into the provincial realm? I mean, the only thing that makes sense in my mind is that there is going to be an election coming. It may not be until after the riding boundary change.
But it's soon.
But yeah, but it's going to be soon. Why is Blaikie looking? Why is he not riding out the rest of his term? Why is he leaving? He's leaving because his seat is going to be handed to the Conservatives in the next election if it's after the boundary change.
Right. So, fiscally, it doesn't make sense. If you assume, like a lot of people are saying, okay, well, the next election is going to be in November of 2025. Why would you give up that salary?
Right, and they're getting a raise in a month.
So, and he's quitting right before that raise,
Right,
everybody.
right.
Because the end of government year is March 31st.
And they get their raises April 1st, and it's a significant chunk of money. So why would you give that up?
So there's a lot of strange things that have occurred around this Blaikie resignation. But, one thing's for sure. Jagmeet Singh just lost another seat, which is another vote. And it's another vote that the Liberals lost as well.
That's right.
This also tells me that Blaikie was not happy with Jagmeet's leadership as well. And he would rather just cut bait and get out while he still can. So things are getting very interesting on Parliament Hill, everybody. But we'll continue to follow this and let you know what other developments may arise.